Welcome back. The entertainment industry was among the hardest hit from the beginning of the pandemic in 2020 until most recently when some of the COVID-19 restrictions were lifted. This week on Women in Business, Vivian Wandera spoke to Sonia, the owner of one of Nairobi's Chez Sonia Massioui, on her enterprise and how she's holding the business. Take a look.
According to doctors, a glass of red wine is good for your health, but finding the perfect wine pairing with food can be a challenge. The owner and founder of Chez Sonia Wine Bar, Sonia Massioui, saw a gap in this fine dining niche.
So Sonia, how did the idea for Chez Sonia come about?
I have a passion for wine and I was getting frustrated not finding a place like Chez Sonia in Nairobi. And I wanted to be able to open a place where people can drink wine per the glass, not necessarily per bottle, but high quality. And a nice surrounding like the one I have set up in a nice surrounding like the one I have set up here.
When setting up a business, capital plays a big role in it, and instead of getting a loan from the bank, Sonia opted to go a different route. Sonia tells me how long it took for her to start making returns from the business, which she crowdfunded from her close circle of friends.
For Chez Sonia, so 2 million, but then I had crowdfunding from many different friends. So friends chip into the project. And so this, I'm grateful for that, and I'm lucky. Actually, not too long because I was like really grateful and I'm lucky. The business kickstart quite quickly. Just the first 2 months, we're already breaking even.
How was business in 2020?
Man, that's actually the contradiction with most of the business during Corona, is that we have been thriving during Corona because people cannot travel, so they are craving for socializing. We have an outdoor space, so less chance of contamination. So yes, people were like craving for socializing, going out. So we have not been suffering much from the Corona compared to other business. Okay. Obviously, we used to open only at night, and then we had to readjust, open during the day. So we are selling less alcohol and more food, hence the necessity to change my menu. Okay. Usually, we used to open only at night, and then we had to readjust, open during the day. So we are selling less alcohol and more food. Hence, the necessity to change my menu. Okay. Because before Corona, we used to be a typical aperitivo place with cheese platter, charcuterie platter, only cold food. So I had to readjust with Corona. So we open more during the day. The hot kitchen has been, yes, an important part now of our sale. And so the revenue has reduced because obviously alcohol brings more revenue, but we have been doing pretty well.
The pandemic disrupted her business in a big way, which threw her business into a spin that forced her to better understand the changes in consumer behaviors.
Actually, the first lockdown, March 2020, yes, a lot of delivery requests, people were really supportive, and they were really an uncertain time, which did not happen at all during the second lockdown. Because what people were craving for is more the experience, going out, being with friends, socialized. So the second lockdown, we barely made it with the takeaway. Okay. Barely made it, barely. An important difference between March 2020 and that last lockdown, big difference.
What challenges do you face running a business?
In that industry particularly, there is an important turnover.
Okay.
So waitress turns a lot. So this was the main challenge. I remember talking to some friends before I opened who are from the industry, and they were like telling me about the important turnover. And I had a fitness studio for many years with the same colleague for almost 4 or 5 years. So I was not relating at all to what they were telling me. But yes, indeed, an important turnover. This is a challenge. Notably because I'm a wine place with almost 65 wine per the glass, so you need a bit of knowledge to guide the guest. So training every time takes takes a toll on us. When we lose a colleague, it's always a toll of us because we have like to restart from the beginning and retrain and educate on wine and share training documentation. But again, it's a challenge that now it's part of the daily, I will say, the daily operation. I don't mind at all. I'm never surprised now when someone leaves at all. It's like part of the business as usual, and we keep going. It's always, I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason, so everything, every time, we get lucky in the following recruitment.
Yeah. So what do you know about running a business now that you didn't know at the beginning when you started Chez Sonia?
The continuous problem solving skills that you need to sharpen. So at some point I was thinking that, oh yes, it's difficult, or problem arise, it will stop at some point, we will reach a rhythm, and everything will run smoothly by itself. This never happened. Never happened. But now is the way I react that is different. Now I keep cool. Okay, this happened. Okay, let me try to find the solution. My everyday is that a problem arises, a solution. So this is not what I was expecting. I was expecting that after some point things run by themselves smoothly. It's not. But that's how the passion and the love for what you are doing is very important, because that's what keeps you going. For example, I had the break. We were closed down in April because of the lockdown. So I had a break. I came back, and all the guests were here. The ambience was amazing, and I felt grateful. Yes, I love my job. I love making people happy. I love seeing people happy. I love what I do, and I'm really grateful for that. So that keeps you going.
All right. Sonia tells me that before starting a business, here's her checklist.
Well, apologies for that. Sonia actually is a sommelier. She's not from Somalia, but sommelier is somebody who's a specialist when it comes to matters